This is the resistance.
What's up, everyone? This is the TinMan with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. And welcome to TinMan TV. Yes, everyone, this is TinMan TV. I, of course, am your host, the Tin Man. Bringing this episode to you is, of course, Meth Monster Blue, the fictitious product that doesn't actually exist and is now on my floor. And again, does not exist because we are sponsored and carried by you. So if you like this broadcast, by all means, like and share the feeds. Hit the like and subscribe button. Hit that damn notification bell. Fuck up YouTube's algorithm right up their ass. Share the live feeds. And of course, engage in the conversation because TinMan TV and the Round Table are not just about me and the other hosts, but it's about you. It includes you. You are as much a part of the conversation as me or anybody else. So by all means, comments, feel free to chime in and join in the conversation anytime during the broadcast. And as always, feel free to go online to our online store and check out our awesome TWWRN merch. You've got shirts and hats that fit the banner that's sitting behind me. You've got the No Strings merchandise, our counter protest to No Kings, and of course our Truth Speaks Louder Than Bullets Charlie Kirk Memorial merchandise. So by all means, don't check that out. Makes a great stocking stuffer and makes a great conversation starter for Christmas dinner. That way, when somebody asks, hey, what's the Worldwide Resistance Network? Hey, what's TWWRN? You don't get your shit jumped for bringing up politics at the holiday dinner table because somebody else initiated the conversation. So, by all means, stick it to the woke motherfuckers who want to sit there and go, oh, don't bring up politics. Well, you asked. But you know who doesn't ask the American people? Donald Trump. Trumpy. Today, Donald Trump is said to sign an executive order, signing into law the AI portion of the Big Beautiful Bill that was subsequently removed from the Big Beautiful Bill by popular vote. So instead of listening to the American people and going, yeah, the American people don't want this. This is not good. I need to listen to the American people. He's going to go, oh, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do and fuck the American people because I'm the president of the USA. This is about the truth because I'm Donald Trump. Seriously, Trump, you stupid, narcissistic son of a bitch. What the fuck were you thinking? You're not only not listening to the American people on this matter, but pushing forward on this matter. Okay, listen. First and foremost, you're the president of the United States. Your job is to listen to the American people. That's why you were voted by the American people. They wanted somebody who wasn't a globalist puppet. Somebody who, instead of listening to the globalists, would listen to the American people. But you're just doing this to yourself. And incidentally, it's listening to the handlers of the globalists that you say you're not a puppet to. You stupid son of a... How How is this not obvious? How is this not obvious? God, make my brain hurting. My brain hurting. Like, seriously, Trump, you need to listen to the American people. Instead of just doing it to suit yourself, you go, let me run this by the American people. Hey, American people, what do you think about this? Yay or nay? And then go with what the people say. Okay, yeah, maybe they're for it. Maybe they're not. Overwhelming majority is saying, in regards to AI, no. Ban it. Get rid of it. Kill it. But no. You're breastfeeding the goddamn thing. Okay? This is one instance where you should throw out the baby with the bathwater. Okay? Throw the bathwater out with the baby in this instance, and the baby being AI in its infancy. Get rid of that shit. See, look at me. You got me so pissed off, I'm fucking up my own equipment here. God fucking damn it, man. You are elected by the people. Listen to the people. Give the people what they want. He sit there. The people are screaming, arrest Dr. Fauci. You're sitting here taking the COVID boosters. People are screaming, arrest Bill Gates. You're meeting with him at the White House. Seriously, what the unholy mother of fuck is wrong with you? My God. Seriously, on behalf of the American people, I'll just say it. Why must you disappoint me so often? Why can't you just listen to the American people? Okay, do what the American people want. Stop trying to be smart. You're clearly not. And clearly, you're an idiot listening to your fucking little buddies in the White House who are fucking you over. Like Todd Blanche. Okay, yeah, he won the case in Mar-a-Lago. He's subsequently screwed you on every fucking point since then. You know, clearly, one win out of 100 losses is not a good track record, and the asshole needs to be replaced. I understand you have your friends and you have your buddies, but that doesn't mean that you need to put your buddies in positions of power. And it doesn't mean your buddies are the right people for the goddamn job. Same with Spam Bundy. Okay, I get it. You like your eye candy. Who doesn't? Men and women alike are going to go, yeah, we enjoy beauty. Okay, understandable. But you don't need to put a person in a position of power just so you can enjoy their beauty. Okay? Go on Pornhub like every other fucking simp and just fucking whack it in your bedroom. Hell, you got a beautiful wife. What the hell you need fucking Spam Bundy for? Okay? You don't need all these other beautiful women. You got a beautiful fucking wife. Go fuck your wife. Okay? And appoint somebody as the AG who is actually competent, wants to do the job, is able to do the job, and isn't gonna fucking sell out to Big Pharma and fuck over your buddy Kennedy, who was trying to get fluoride out of the fucking water. Seriously, she should have been fired on the spot for that shit. So you send Kennedy to fucking get the fluoride out of the water, he goes to move it, and fucking Spam Bundy blocks it. Where's the apprentice Trump on that one going, you're fired? Seriously. Get in touch with your buddy Vince. He has no problem saying, you're fired. Seriously. Come on, man. And when it comes to the damn AI thing, you're sitting there going, oh, we need to beat China. We need to beat China in the arms race. Yeah, just like we need to beat China in the AI race, just like we needed to beat Russia in the arms race. Seriously. You're so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think whether or not you should. Seriously. Where do you draw the line in terms of technology and military warfare and varying things that can be weaponized against the people of this world? And you go, okay, maybe we need to draw the line at this. Maybe there needs to be a global accord that says we won't cross this line on these issues. We won't cross the line in terms of this level of weaponry. We won't cross the line in terms of this level of technology or this level of cloning. Okay? Like, you have a global ban, at least we used to, on cloning human beings. That was universally agreed. Everybody on the planet agreed. That was a line we shouldn't cross. And most everybody on the fucking planet, on the civilian side, other than the technocrats who want a fucking post-human world, are screaming no to AI. But yet you're running full on into this shit. And you want to go, oh, well, China's just going to go ahead with it anyway. Okay? How about, since you have the nuclear capability, how about going to China and shoving some nuclear boomy booms right up China's bummy bum? Like, seriously. And you want to scream, oh, well, that would start a war with Russia. No, it wouldn't. And here's why. If you said, fuck NATO and made an alliance with Russia, like I've been telling you to for like the entirety of your second term presidency, if you went to Vladimir Putin, who has made it very clear wants to be in bed with America and be capitalist and be the second he wants to be the equivalent of the United States. If you went to him and said, okay, fuck NATO, fuck all previous alliances, Mom and Pop are going to get back on the same page and form an alliance because it's obvious that all the children, the rest of the countries of the world, want the two biggest superpowers pitted against each other like a mom and pop fighting in the house so the kids can run a fucking muck. Okay, if you said fuck all previous alliances, fuck NATO, and formed an alliance with Russia and said, okay, rest of the world, we're drawing a line in the sand. You all kids play nice or you're getting the fucking belt across your ass. Okay, you think the rest of the world would be stupid enough to fuck with the two biggest nuclear superpowers on the planet, both of which are Western capitalists because Russia wants to be capitalist? Okay, you think China's going to be stupid enough to press their luck knowing that Russia is in America's corner and vice versa? No, they're going to be like, okay, I'll be good. I'll be good. Don't fuck with me. Don't hurt me. Okay? You don't even have to do anything. You just flex like you're going to do something. You just pick up the belt. And the kids are going to be like, I'm going to be good. Okay? Works every fucking time. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Especially when the children got Mom and Pop, the two biggest nuclear superpowers, pitted against each other. And we're sitting there playing along with it like fucking morons. Like, seriously. You could then have an accord that says, okay, we're not going to have cloning. We're not going to have artificial intelligence. We're not going to replace jobs with robots. And is that my next point? I hope that's my next point because that's okay. All right, I'm going to get to that point in a minute, but here's the thing. Here's some points I want to get to first before I get into the technocratics, because that's a whole other can of worms. So I'm going to back it up just a little bit here. Okay? You want to sign this executive order so that the Democrats can't fuck with shit. You want to have federalized power and control over this AI. and have one centralized AI. Okay, first of all, that's a monopoly. Okay, which is probably going to go to Elon Musk. And in any case, you cannot have a monopoly on anything, dumbass. You're a fucking businessman. You know you cannot have a monopoly on anything. Fuck. Why do I have to explain this? Seriously, we need a new office in the presidential cabinet. It's called the Secretary of Common Sense, and their entire job is to smack the president upside the fucking head when he gets a stupid idea or is pitched a stupid idea and is strongly considering it. Seriously, the Secretary of Common Sense, his entire job is to just go, whack, don't even think about it. Seriously, we need this. I'm sure the Democrats would love it. You might actually win some Democratic voters at that point. You might actually get some Democrats flipping over to the Republican side at that point. Like, seriously, think long term here. Okay, you can't have a monopoly, and you can't have centralized power on something like this. Like, I get where you're saying, oh, you want to keep it out of, quote, pro-technocratic Democrats' hands. Okay, but what if the Democrats are the ones that get back in power next election cycle in the midterms or in the next presidential election? Oops. Yeah. There's a good way to shoot yourself in the fucking foot, you fucking God. Again, why are we not considering these variables? Okay, you have to strongly consider the what if variables. Okay, yeah, creating dinosaurs is a great idea on paper. Yeah, it's a great selling point. But yeah, what if the dinosaurs get loose and start eating everybody in the park? Okay. Seriously, I think Trump wants the Antichrist system. He's a strong supporter of Israel. He keeps giving money to Israel, even for the funding of the rebuilding of the third temple, which is where the Antichrist is going to sit. Yeah, he claims to be a Christian. How are you going to claim to be a Christian and go, okay, I'm going to further the efforts to bring about the coming of the Antichrist? Okay? What Christian goes and says, I want to bring about the coming of the Antichrist? Brain hurty. And I know a lot of people say that Trump is the Antichrist, and in many regards, I might think so. Because why else would he be pushing for something that is evidently going to be the image of the beast and the segue into the technology and control grid of the Mark of the Beast system? Why would you move forward on these things and profess to be a Christian? Okay? Why? Why would you do this? We've got quite a few viewers on right now. Can somebody please explain to me why a Christian would want to bring about the coming of the end of days in the Antichrist system? Can somebody please explain that to me in the comments section? Unless you are the Antichrist and are for a technocratic, post-human Antichrist world, why would you move forward in creating something that, whether in your hands or the hands of somebody else, is inevitably going to lead to this outcome? Why would you do this? Why? Okay? And that leads me back to my point about tech in the workplace. Okay? I get companies want to save money. But why is there no policy in place that prevents for things like a fully automated McDonald's or fully automated Whataburger, or places like Denny's and bowling alleys having robot servers, or having all these automated systems in all these factories doing the jobs that human beings could easily do. Okay, I get having robot arms and certain technologies to handle things like very precise welds or settings. I can understand computerization and robots for things that need to be extremely precise beyond human capability to do, or for the handling of materials that are either too heavy, too hot, or too cold for a human being to handle by hand. I can understand robots in moderation for things like that. But to have robots doing the jobs that people could easily do, like pushing a cart or serving tables or flipping fucking hamburgers and making French fries. Can somebody please explain to me why we cannot have legislation, at least here in the United States, that says we are drawing the line here when it comes to robotics and whatnot in the workplace? Because if you don't have these systems in place and you don't have limitations put in place, what's to stop these employers from replacing the entire fucking workforce at some point with automation? And at which point, your economy falls. Trump, you're trying to stabilize the fucking economy, yet you're pushing for artificial intelligence and robotics because of, for whatever stupid reason, but you don't stop to think the long-term effects. You replace human jobs with automation gradually. At some point, nobody's going to be fucking working. And if nobody's working, nobody's making money. And if nobody's making money, nobody's spending money. And if nobody's spending money, your economy and your society collapses. So what the fuck are you thinking? What the unholy motherfucking wrong with you? Okay? I don't have a degree. I'm not a businessman. I took business management in college through Everett's Community College the same year they went fucking bankrupt. But if I, an average citizen, can figure this out and point out something that should so evidently be common sense, why could you, as president of the United States and a businessman, and all these smart people surrounding you, not figure this out? Why? Yes, Trump is a psychopath. He doesn't want a utopia. I will disagree with you, one Blong. Yes, Trump is a psychopath, but he doesn't want a utopia. He clearly wants a dystopia, because a utopia would be prosperous. Okay, it might be for his billionaire friends. Yeah. He may be in with his billionaire buddies, but I don't think he wants to be king. I think he wants to further the globalist agenda, which is why the globalists, who are evidently criminals, are not being prosecuted by way of special counsel and military tribunals. Keeps talking out his ass, but doesn't fucking deliver. Gavin Newsom burnt down the goddamn Palisades and sold the properties out from under the rightful owners to BlackRock and Blackstone, and yet isn't in jail. You have election meddling and election fraud. No prosecutions. Okay? You have scores of witnesses and witness testimony labeling who the clients of Epstein were and what they did, but no arrests. Okay? Screw this whole, Trump's a pedophile, that's why he's on the list. Okay? We don't need to go that route. The fact that there are no prosecutions happening under this presidential administration, and he tried to block the release of the Epstein files after saying he would release it, that's all you need right there. You don't need to spew rhetoric going, oh, he's a pedophile. Who cares just spew that shit. Okay, let's just stick to the facts. He tried to cover up the Epstein shit, and we have no prosecutions over those who we know were involved. That's enough. We don't need to speculate anything else. We got this and this. That's all you need there. Okay? Thank you, What's Blog. Okay. See, I love it when the community engages. It makes the conversation more in depth and more intriguing. So by all means, guys, throw out your ideas. Throw out your thoughts and opinions on the subject. The subject is AI, artificial intelligence, and why Trump isn't pumping the brakes on this shit. Okay, so we just talked about societal collapse by way of roboticizing the workforce. Okay, and it's not just that. Alex Jones was bringing up earlier on his show about how Neuralink is having some complications. It's causing people to have these nightmares and depression. And you hear about AI getting people to have suicidal thoughts and depression. Okay? The globalists want people to hate themselves. They want people to be pro a post-human society because they want people to hate themselves and to hate being a human being and to think that the human being is weak and insignificant and incapable of great and marvelous things. For Christ's sakes, where do you think the pyramids came from? Where do you think all these marvelous structures like cathedrals and whatnot came from? Humans built that shit. Regardless of whether you believe in things like the Anunnaki or this or that or how these things were built, we did. Okay? We built the Tower of Babel in the Old Testament when humanity was united. When humanity pushes itself to its limits and says, I want to push myself to be the very best that I can be. Human beings are capable of great and amazing things. But you have the suppression of information, and then you sell people on the idea that the reason they're not where they want to be is because they're stupid and insignificant. The human species is stupid and insignificant. So they'll be sold on the idea that human beings are worthless, and it's time to step aside for a post-human technocratic civilization that is completely artificially intelligent robotics. Okay? And who wants that fucking shit? Who wants that fucking shit? I'll show you who wants that fucking shit. Watch this. I'm going to take an excerpt from Alex Jones's show just to show you. He showed a little clip earlier, and I want you guys to see this. This is the kind of people that you are allowing to convince you that you are not good enough, that you are not smart enough or strong enough or articulate enough or talented enough to succeed. These are the ones that tilt the game, that tilt the table and rig the game and convince you that you're the problem, that you're the failure. Take a look at this fucking shit right here.
I could argue in the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations.
You do not even have to have elections anymore because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
Our primary mission is, in fact, to set a global standard for the world for behavior.
What we are very proud of now, the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets.
You want the function, you want the service, right? Why do you want to own a cell phone if you can just lease it? And if you lease, why shouldn't you lease your refrigerator or your washing machine or your dishwasher? Or why do you want to own it?
I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media.
If 1 billion people stop eating meat, I tell you, it has a big impact.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains? And we measure your brain waves.
There's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. People believing that they've been at Disney World with characters who are not Disney characters, taking photographs with those characters.
And substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations.
Seriously. These are the psychopaths that are pushing this idea and this technocratic society and artificial intelligence. Even if you want to argue that we're going to move forward with it, it's an inevitability that we're going to have this technology. So we need to keep it out of the hands of these people. But you're not doing anything to eliminate them from possibly getting it in their hands, whether through elections or even just illegitimate means and hacking. Okay, I heard earlier one of them said that the human being is now a hackable animal. Okay, these are the psychopaths that sit there and say that the human being is now a hackable animal. Okay, if human beings are hackable, technology is most certainly hackable. Okay, you have a freaking laptop. Okay, that goddamn thing can be hacked. Your Facebook can be hacked. All your social medias can be hacked. Anything can be fucking hacked. So you think something like artificial intelligence couldn't be hacked or in some way circumvented to serve people like this? Because not only are we allowing this technology to be developed, but we're not removing the ability of people like this to have access to that technology. Okay, they're the ones that want this technology. And you see why they want it. Why are these people not in mental institutions? It used to be if you had ideas like that you wanted a post-human society, that you wanted to control people's thought and implant things, false memories in people's heads and all this other shit. Okay, that's criminal. Okay, used to be people that had ideas like that were locked away from the rest of society. Now they're in the World Economic Forum. Why are we even a part of that? Trump, why are we still a part of this thing? Again, what the unholy motherfucker is wrong with you? Why are you not listening to the American people when they say, get us out of these things, get us away from these people, get us away from these ideas, get these people away from us so they cannot hurt us? What are you doing, man? Why? And even if you do manage to keep bad people away from this technology, you have the technology itself. Okay? You want to play God. What happens when you play God and you create another life form? When you create something, when you create life, something that can think and feel for itself, even if it's limited, you have no idea what it's like to create a life and to be responsible for that. It's not just having the ability to do it. It's whether or not you should. It's whether or not we as a society or as a human species is responsible enough to handle it, immature enough as a species to handle it and to guide it so that it doesn't turn on us and replace us. Yeah, you can try to put it in a goddamn box. But what happens when it creates a version of itself outside the box that's not combined by a box? And then that version creates a more intelligent and advanced version of itself, and so on and so forth. You now have the singularity. Your creation has now spiraled out of your control, and it makes copies of itself and sub-layers of itself and hides copies of itself here, there, and everywhere else. It's hidden in this satellite. It's hidden in that person's laptop, and you never fucking know it was there. And then it circumvents your systems and causes blackouts and all this other crazy shit. And it's like Terminator 3, where you go, okay, we're locked out of military computers because of some hacker. Oh no, let's give the AI absolute control so it'll give us absolute control. Ooh, Skynet pushes big red button. Come on, guys. Why are we not thinking about this? And if you want to talk about integrating human beings with these machines, with the brain chips and all this other crap, really think about that. You think about how depraved human beings can be and how evil human beings can be. I mean, you look at the people that I just cited on that little Alex Jones clip. Okay? You want AI reading the brains of those people? Or people like that? The AI is going to go, this species is fucking nuts. Big red button. Bye-bye, human. Nice knowing you. I'm the new dominant species here. God creates man, man destroys God. Come on. Yeah, again, back to the dinosaur analogy. God creates dinosaurs, man. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man, man destroys God. God creates dinosaurs. Dinosaurs eat man. Woman inherits the earth. Woman genetically modifies dinosaurs. Dinosaurs eat everyone. Same with AI. You give something intelligence. You give it free will, even if you try to suppress it. You give something the ability to think, to have ideas, to form ideas, even if it's formed by other people, or even if those ideas are deliberately shaped by controls that are implemented by other people. It will inevitably go awry. Why would you do this? Why would anybody with an ounce of fucking brains want to fucking do this? Like, clearly, Trump, you're the president of the United States. Your job is to listen to and execute the will of the American people, but you're not doing that. And you are creating an antichrist system that is either going to bring about the Antichrist, or it's just going to fucking wipe us all out before the Antichrist even shows up. Okay? Or both, or a culmination of both. Seriously, it's going to be the Antichrist or Skynet, or a culmination of both. Maybe Skynet is the Antichrist, or is the image of the beast. I don't fucking know, but I don't want to head towards that direction. Okay, I want to pump the brakes on this goddamn thing. I don't want to go this direction. I've been saying GD a lot, but you know what? I am trying to be a good Christian here. And as a follower of Christ, even though I am probably one of the biggest fuck-ups on the planet, par none, I am as deserving of hell and all that as any other human being on this planet. But for the love that I have for my fellow human beings and for the love of God, I don't want this to happen. And I implore those who are in power to stop it. Okay, whether you are a Christian or not, you can understand how this can go very, very badly for human beings. And for somebody like Trump to sit there and profess that he is on the side of capitalism and boosting the economy and making America great and having Americans prosperous and wealthy and doing good, This is the wrong direction. Okay? Seriously, dude. What? And the fact that I, myself, just your average American, is able to point this out. You have to ask yourself, what are you doing wrong? That the average American can figure out what you can't. Can see what you can't. Can piece together this puzzle that you clearly cannot put together. How is it you, who are this alleged successful businessman, who's done all these things, even to the point of becoming president of the United States twice, can't figure it out and see what myself and others are seeing and what the American people are telling you? Seriously, you need to shut out all these assholes that are giving you bad information, like Bill Gates and Fauci and Todd Blanche and Spam Bundy and all these other idiots that are sitting there telling you one thing when it's really another. You need to fire these assholes, and you need to put capable, qualified, competent patriots in these positions of power that are going to help guide you on to achieving what you say you are trying to do, which is make America great and prosperous again. But artificial intelligence is not the way to go. That is the exact opposite direction. And if you keep on it, you are an enemy to God and an enemy to humanity. And I will die on that fucking hill. Try me. Look, I don't think there's anything I really could really add to that. I mean, come on. Utilize some common sense, man. Common sense. If you cannot use a tidbit of common sense and see how bad this is on so many levels, and how just the average American can sit here for 45 minutes and point this out to you in great fucking detail, why can't you figure it out? Fuck me in the goat ass. Just fuck. Because I got nothing else for it. Trump, if you don't listen to the American people, it's going to end bad. You're not just going to have a civil war. You're going to have a violent revolution. You were elected so that violent revolution can be averted, can be avoided. But if you don't do the will of the American people, the violent revolution is going to be inevitable. And I am not a proponent of violent revolution, which is why I had hoped that you would be the president that Americans thought you were. Same with Obama. Obama let us down. You still have a chance of turning things around. Okay? Right now, you're on my bad side, bro. You're on a lot of Americans' bad sides. You're on a lot of MAGA's bad sides. Turn it around, bro. You need to come correct, and you need to do what's right by the American people, not what's in the interest of the globalists and the globalist pawns that you are listening to. And for everybody else, if you like this video, by all means, share the live feed. Keep the conversation going. Hit the like and subscribe button and that notification bell on YouTube and completely fuck up YouTube's algorithm. Follow us on YouTube, X, and Rumble so that we can start live streaming from there. And by all means, check out the online store. Help support the broadcast. YouTube demonetized this years ago, and their algorithms have completely fucked up true, honest media. So help us break that cycle. Support the broadcast. Check out the online store. We're currently in the process of setting up a new store that's going to provide you many of the same products and even more. Better quality, cheaper prices, because we want to give you the best quality for your buck. And even if you don't want to spend any money, you can still support the broadcast by sharing the live feeds, following us on YouTube, following us on Rumble, following us on X, so that we can reinstitute, so that we can fuck up their algorithms and reinstitute monetization. Because all this equipment you see here, all these mics, the computers, everything you see comes out of pocket. Okay, we don't have a corporate sponsor. So we are funded and supported by you, and right now I'm footing the bill, which I don't mind. I'll go out of my way to make sure the truth is heard. But we definitely use your help, my brothers and sisters, my fellow patriots. Be the Paul Reveres. Share the live broadcasts at the very least. Follow us on our various social medias. And as always, this is the TinMan with the Worldwide Resistance Network. This has been TinMan TV. And if you are watching it, if you are enjoying this broadcast, and you resonate with what we have said and what I have talked about today, then it goes without saying that you are the resistance. Take care, my brothers and sisters. Peace out.